we've done it again. Another target absolutely smashed. We've now closed above the $649 area, which I explained is a strong resistance level. And once we break that level, we can expect momentum to the upside. Now, before I continue with this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, turn the bell notifications on so you're updated on all my latest posts. And remember, guys, nothing you see in this video is financial advice, so please always make sure you do your own research. Now, with that being said, let's get into it. So we've now closed, or we've now broken the 649 area, which is, you know, very, very significant, especially when we look at the weekly time frame for a strong resistance area. And as explained, the amount of rejections that we have at this level. Now, if you want to learn more about that, watch our previous videos on Bitcoin Cash, and you can learn about that more in detail. So we're now at $687. We did actually go beyond that. We were around the $700 mark, just above the $700 mark last night, or depending on where you were in the world, it would be the morning. Now, where do we go from here? So our next target, as you all know, or if you don't know, is around $1,500. Now, that may seem like a pipe dream for you guys, but when we look at just a technical, so let's look at how we've broken, number one, our weekly trend line, which is significant from a technical point of view. We usually see strong momentum when this happens. And as you can see, price is actually broken, retested this trend line, and now is making a solid move to the upside. And we now have two confluences. Number one, we have the trend line break retest. And number two, we have now price breaking this resistance area, which is a match made in heaven for buying opportunities. And to make matters even better, this is a morning star formation. So for those of you that have experienced the stock and foreign exchange market, you understand how significant this whole scenario is. We have three scenarios, three strong confluences for bullish momentum. So if you don't believe in this project, now is the time to start believing, because this is essentially proving what you may not think or thought it would be able to do, and that is break at the significant 52-week high, right? So that's just a weekly time frame. So as you can see, we have our strong resistance level broken. We're now on target to hit our first target area. Now let's go on a daily time frame so we can look at this in more detail. Right, so let's just zoom out and see what we have going on. So of course, once we've broken the resistance area, we can almost see price is now pulling back to retest, which we would now consider a support level, which is a very classic break retest pattern, right? So we saw that to the downside when we broke the trend line, but now we're actually seeing that retest of this now support area to see how strong it is, right? Is price going to go back inside, and then are we going to range again? Or are we now going to see a rejection and then a solid momentum to the upside? And what you guys will notice when you go on the daily time frame, you see less of the bigger picture, right? And one thing we always say is look left, structure always leaves clues. When you're on these smaller time frames, it can be quite tough to be able to assess or predict where price is going, which is why we always want to start off with the higher time frames and work our way down. So just to summarize this video, again, it was just an update to show that we've now broken that significant level, and this potentially could be your last chance to buy this low, right? Even if we hit our target one, right, and you buy now, that is a over 120% gain. 120% gain. The longer you leave this is essentially the more risk you have, right? Because who wants to buy a coin for 1.5k? The average person is not going to have enough money to do that. You had the opportunity at number one, below $200. Number two, below $300, below $400, and now price is at $684 per coin. A high is over $4,000. Even if you own one coin, that percentage growth from now to the all-time high is going to be over And will this be the next Bitcoin? We're yet to see. That is going to be the question that will be answered towards the end of the year. Will this be one of the biggest? I believe will be one of the biggest percentage wise. In terms of the main coins out of Ethereum, Bitcoin, this has the potential to be the number one percentage growth coin out of the major coins. And again, this was all posted on my Twitter from last year, so make sure you check that out. Vision Life FX or Traveling Trader on Twitter. You'll see that I actually said that Ethereum will be the second biggest out of the main coins, biggest growth in terms of percentage growth coins, second to Bitcoin Cash. There's a lot of room for this coin to grow, and again, it's got a great utility. I'm not going to keep banging on about the utility, but it's quite obvious. It's faster for transactions than Bitcoin Cash, lower fees, a lot more scalable than Bitcoin itself. So again, this does look like a project that can actually succeed, which is why we got in super low. And again, just from an investment perspective, buy low, sell high. A lot of people saying, oh, it's low now, but what is the point of waiting for this to hit $3,000 to then jump in? And then what's going to happen to you? The exact same thing that happens to you all the time, where price pulls back over 50%, you cash out at a loss, and then the same scenario year after year, right? The goal is to find a project you believe in, get in when it's super cheap, and then at the end of the day, not being rude, but then the sheep usually come in halfway through. Let's say they start coming in around $2,000, they push price up even more. These guys are either going to start taking profit, or obviously they're going to hold, but that taking profit is what causes price to crash. And I'm going to go into that on another video. But before then, as always, guys, see you today.